Well, hey guys and gals, welcome back to the BlockHeads server. It is episode 41, and today we're working on our new city area. Waffle Stick is hard at work building a pathway through the city, and I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome. He is following my orange blocks there that I put out in last episode, and I think it looks great. I really like it. I really like it. It's a nice stone pathway, very city-like, and he's working hard on that. So what I'm going to be working hard on today is making sure that he doesn't screw it up. No, I'm just kidding. No, what I'm going to be working hard on today is working on building some of these buildings, and maybe, well, I don't really want to establish like a quote-unquote style, but I think what I'm probably going to do is build buildings like randomly. In other words, like instead of building like in one section, like, for example, like building all of that section over there, and then, you know, next episode building some of this section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build like a house here and a house there and a house there and a house there. That way, as my sort of decisions about what I want to build and stuff like that kind of evolve, I'm able to spread those things around the city. So it just kind of happens, at least for me, when I'm building that kind of, I build in like a certain style, and then I'm like, I get bored of that, and then I try something else. And it just kind of happens naturally. So if I can do that, then hopefully I'll be able to spread some of the more interesting builds throughout the city. And, so it doesn't look like kind of how the thing is going now, where like I have some of these earlier builds here, and then I have those manor houses that are like much bigger and more... Whatever. Anyway, it makes sense to me, okay? It really makes sense to me, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I've gathered some resources. I got some cobblestone and stuff like that, but really what I need to do before I go too much further is to gather some dark oak wood, because it would be great if we had some dark oak wood to spread around here as well. But you know what? Maybe what I should do is just start building and then get dark oak wood later, and then some of the houses will have dark oak wood and some of them won't. That is too close to Etzmine's face. I feel like I'm too close to his face. Hello, Etzmine. What are you doing? What? This looks good. All right. Anyway, I think that perhaps what we should do, should we do a time lapse? I don't know. I don't know if we should do a time lapse or if I should do some progress updates. I think progress updates might work a little bit better if I'm going to be spreading builds across the city. You know what I mean? I think that makes more sense. Anyway, I'm going to get started. You guys are going to keep watching, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time, and here we go. Okay, well, I've got a decent start on this warehouse here. I actually did a little bit more than I was planning on doing before doing a progress update, just because Waffle Stick was on a little bit. Anyway, I really wanted to try to make this building just so super interesting. Now, the sag roof, I'm not 100% sure if that's how you do a saggy roof. I need to look up how to do that and see some people who can do that really well, and that I like to look at their builds to see how mine compares with that. But I think I pulled it off, and I think that it's working pretty well. And this is the kind of build that I wanted to do over here. I wanted to do things where the detail is just sort of outside of my comfort zone. So building these saggy roofs and getting them to look right is outside my comfort zone. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Anyway, the base I think looks pretty good, and I'm liking it pretty well. I'm trying to figure out how to texture the sides here. I definitely like the white with the spruce wood. I think that just looks so good. I've always really liked the white texture with the spruce. But anyway, the inside of it has some good textures here, and pretty simple down here. I like these doors. I'm thinking of these doors as maybe sliding sideways. I don't know if that's historically accurate, if they had the technology to slide a door sideways in the medieval period, but I don't really care. That's how I'm making these work. Anyway, yeah. I'm liking this pretty good. I need to light it up a little bit inside, and we still need some more details on the exterior. But I'm liking this build quite a bit. And this is what I'm just so excited about this city for, is that I get to do builds like this all over the place. Everything's already laid out. All I have to do is just construct stuff, and I'm just really, really excited about it. It's proving to be a lot of fun so far. Just using my imagination and being able to build just as freely as I want, and I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. I hope you're enjoying watching it. By the way, I'm flying around using a not a mod, but a data pack that one of Waffle Stick's buddies came up with. It's called Scout Mode, which allows me to move into basically spectator mode temporarily, but I can't cheat with it because if I get out of the spectator mode by doing trigger scout, it puts me right back to where I was before. It also does not allow me to get away from mobs. So like if I'm being chased by a bunch of mobs, I can't trigger the scout mode and I can't go into spectator mode within range of the mobs. And also like you'd think that like finding diamonds and mining would be really easy with this, but if I, actually go in underneath the ground like this, you can see that, honestly, finding diamonds this way, not really going to happen. Like unless they're right inside of these lava pools where you can see them, it's really not worth it. It's actually easier to find diamonds the old-fashioned way by just mining them. But it does allow me to do a little bit of stuff where I can look in caves and stuff, but it's no different than having a second account, and I think it's a lot more effective, at least for me, because I don't have a second account, and I don't have a second computer to run the account on, so I like this mod quite a bit. It works well for what it needs to do. But it allows me to do camera angles like this to show you guys what I'm building from different angles, which I think is kind of nice, even though I'm building in survival, so that's that. Okay, I've added some detail to this thing. Let's take a look here, see what we like, what we don't like. Let's see. So one thing that I did is I took this was down by 3 blocks right here in the middle, and what I decided to do was to raise that up a little bit. I think that makes the sagging roof look a little bit nicer. I think that's pretty good. Some things that I really like these right here, how this is coming out. So basically I just did some planks out here with some trapdoors on the end. And then of course these grindstones with a little chain and a little sort of basket to make it look like that's kind of a crane pulling things up and down to the upper floor of the warehouse. I think that's effective. And then right here, I've got kind of a derpy little sign. There was a couple of things that I saw on a YouTube channel. I think his name is BB Builds or BB Blocks or something like that. Had a lot of really great little tips and ideas for decorations and stuff. On this side, side is a little bit more plain intentionally because it's going to be a warehouse there and a warehouse there, and you won't see this side as much, but I did put some decorations on it. I'm not sure how effective they are, but I wanted it to be a little bit better than just a flat wall. Same thing here, kind of a little bit more of a flattish wall, but I like these decorations. I like these little eyelids. On the inside, what I did here, well, first of all, I put some barrels around this door. I actually need to do that to the other door. And then inside, I just put a bunch of barrels with some torches, or sorry, not torches, but these lantern thingies that, I'm like in love with. And then just a bunch of barrels. I kind of tried to make sort of rows coming out like that, like a real warehouse would probably have rows like that and things stacked against the wall. But it is medieval times, so I try not to be too picky about it. And then up here, some more things just stacked. Just a bunch of barrels stacked. And then I tried to use these chests a little bit, but I definitely like the barrels better. I think they look a lot better. I think that beehives will also work, although beehives are a little bit expensive with the whole, you have to use honeycombs to build them. Also, I put a grid work of some, whatever these things are, logs on the ceiling here. And I think that works for a ceiling because I'm probably going to leave the upper part of the ceiling undecorated and unfilled in like this. I'm not sure how historically accurate that is or how good that looks, but that's probably what I'm going to do. And as I'm looking at this build, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I would like to change. And the only thing that I could think of is to put a few more barrels in front of this door right here. And I think that will be done with this one here. Yeah, so there's a warehouse. It's looking good. The city is off to a rip-roaring start. Okay, the next build I think I'd like to do is one of these in here, and I'm not sure which one. Let's see. What do you guys think? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch the tiger. You know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get an arrow, shoot it in a random direction, see where it lands. Up. Where'd it go? Where did it land? Where did this one land? That one landed right in the middle of the street. That's not helpful. This one landed in between these two. I was thinking about doing this one, so I think that makes sense. I'm going to do this build right here. Okay, I've started things off by replacing the magenta wool with some of my little cobblestone and crackstone bricks and some stone. Should have mixed some andesite in there maybe too as well, but I don't care. This is kind of pushing me as a builder exactly what I wanted to do because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of putting blocks in different places and hoping for the best here. I replaced kind of the interior, so like where the magenta kind of, like this kind of space in here on that one. I replaced all that with some wood. And there's like a bird outside, like just going crazy out there. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the mic. I have my mic on like a near field setting, but who knows? Anyway, then I'm going to be filling in the walls with some, basically I kind of put some of these posts here, some of our spruce wood posts with just in kind of like important places, you know what I mean? Like corners. So we got corners, and then we got also places like this where kind of the diagonal changes from, anyway, like that. And then I'm just going to kind of build up with some cobblestone and some of these different blocks here and see how that goes. And then what I want to do is I want to build the upper portion to be a little bit more crazy with lots of wood going all over the place. And yeah, so this looks a little prisonish, so we're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. All right, I think this is a good basis. So yeah, I pretty much filled in everything. I took care of that that prison-looking window. What I did is I pushed the wall out by a couple blocks. So I put these two pillars right in here, like that. And then we've got, I just kind of made this sort of the main entrance because I'm thinking like if you're coming this way on the pathway, that, ooh, look at this little shop or house or whatever. I think that's going to work. And then I'm also going to put a door here, maybe like a back door as well. So like if you're coming from this part of the town, you're going this way. And yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, there we go. And now we need to build sort of the upper portion of this thing, which is going to be kind of interesting. I'd say that probably the most frustrating thing about building in survival mode is not the resources. It's not gathering stuff. It's not figuring out what to build. It's having to sleep every 20 seconds. Well, guys, this is really pushing my building skills right now. I'm like really confused. This is much harder than I thought it would be to try to do things a little different than I usually do. Wow. This is this is something. This is really something. I think I got a house coming. I can't even talk. But what I've done here is I put these little stair blocks around just to kind of make it kind of come out from its base. Now, I think I probably should have done it a little taller, but maybe on the next build. That's kind of the idea of this, is to kind of, as I'm building, kind of develop the style. I think there's a little bit too much spruce wood, especially in the front of this thing. So what I think I'm going to do is replace some of these spruce columns in the front with cobblestone and make it a little bit more cobblestoney on the bottom and then a little bit more sprucey on the top. Well, it's already pretty sprucey on the top, if you know what I mean. Anyway, then kind of looking at the shape here, I'm kind of confused on the roof a little bit, but I think I've got a general idea of what I think is going to work. So I think I'm going to go like it's like there's kind of like a rectangle right here. Like if I go like this, so that would be like one roof, and then we could do like kind of a dormer thing coming out here. And then it would be nice to build up a little bit more. So I don't know if I'm going to do like another story on top of this or what. I don't know, or what. Okay, I've got kind of a general shape here for the roof. So off the end of this thing, I did a small one. So actually what I started with is this sort of larger peak right there. And then I did another peak over here. So this is actually the same peak as the one on the other side. And then I built this kind of dormer right here. So as you can see, the roof is going along across here like this, like that. And that's pretty cool. And then I've got this weird dormer right here. And that dormer is actually kind of offline from this one over here, which is sort of interesting. And then I've got kind of a tower sort of thing going on right here that I thought would kind of add to this build. I'm not sure how it's going to work as far as the roof, but I think it's going to work to kind of give it a little bit more verticality Verticality. There's that word verticality again that I invented. That's pretty cool. Verticalness. Back here, what I'm going to do is be building a... so right here, I'm going to have like a fireplace. So I think what I'm going to do is take out these spruce panels and just build like a fire, straight up cobblestone, whatever kind of fireplace thing going on back there. And I think this is going to work out just fine. I like it. It has a lot of interesting pieces to it, and I think it's going to fit into our city really well. It's kind of a strange way to handle this diagonal that I made, but I kind of like it. I sort of turned a diagonal building into a not diagonal building with some weird dormer stuff going on. So I think that's pretty effective. Okay, I've got the roof all done. I don't know what's going on in that spot right there. Oh, it's just kind of a little thingamabobber. But I think I like it. Actually, I need to finish that little dormer, come to think of it. Anyway, having too much fun with the zoom button. Yeah, so this thing is pretty wild looking. I don't know if I love it, but it's definitely the kind of build that I was thinking of, is doing things that I just don't normally do. Like, I probably wouldn't normally have built this weird tower thing in there. I probably wouldn't have built the diagonals and the weird dormers that are going on. So I'm thinking I'm liking this quite a bit as far as just its sort of oddness from what I usually do. Anyway, next what we have to do is we have to finish this little fireplace, fill in some of the walls with some of the white look to it. I think that's going to help out quite a bit as far as its general niceness, I guess. Niceness? Is that a word? Maybe we'll do a window there. Windows are a little difficult when you're building sort of these two high walls. That's why I usually go 3. But like I said, I'm trying to do things slightly different. So, yeah. I think that windows here would be cool. So we're going to go kind of like that. Maybe a window in this one. Something like that. I'm not sure. I think I got it. I think it's looking okay. Let's go into Scout. I have finished this one. The exterior. I still need to do the interior, which unfortunately I don't feel like doing right now, mainly because I don't have all of the necessary things for it. But this is what I've come up with, and I quite like it. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, there's certain things that I dislike about it, but I think that it's kind of a mixture of a lot of different weird stuff, and this is the kind of build that I was hoping to do. Stuff that looks really interesting and more complex than sort of those ones over there. So I'm really, really happy about it. I think the next one I'm going to do is one of these two right here. Got a good start on this first one here. I'm thinking about doing 3 stories, as you can see. Each story kind of coming out and cantilevering out more than the one before it. That's going to be kind of nuts. That's going to be a little bit nuts. Maybe that's too much, but I think that it works for a city, having it that tall. I think that maybe having something that tall for the kind of a rural area doesn't make sense, but in a city, it does make sense. Oops, I was going to do some more progress updates on this one, and then I kind of got on a roll, but take a look at what we got here. So on the bottom here with these windows, I did put some windows in. I also put some of these, the wall blocks in, like the cobblestone wall and the andesite wall. I think that kind of really helps break up the sort of solid cobblestone look of the lower part. And then, of course, I did some concrete and wool, white concrete and white wool, of course, on the sides. The roof, I think I got okay. It's a little bit kind of taller than I was hoping, like these sections right here, but I had it with that section not on there, and it was just like this, and it looks stupid. So I put that little extra bit on there. I might have to go up one more block on each roof and to make it look good, but we'll see. And then I detailed the walls, as you can see, like this, and then I put these little slabs on here, every other block there. Didn't quite come out right, but I think we're not going to be able to see the back of it as much as maybe the front. I don't know. But yeah, you have to kind of imagine it with other things built around it. Now, I did come out a couple of blocks this way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep those trapdoors right there, or if that's going to run into this building. Really depends on what this building looks like when I build it. So yeah, we'll just have to see. This is probably going to be at least a 2-story building, so I don't know how those planter boxes are going to go. But I'm just kind of building with, you know, the in mind, like that build is just a one-off to make it look good all the way around, rather than like leaving the sides undone or anything like that. So that therefore, when I do other builds around it, I can decide if I want to edit it or not. But for now, I think that it's looking really good. I still need to decorate the back and the other side here, but I got to go to bed. And we've almost got this side completely done. Almost. And for some reason, I haven't eaten the pork chop. And we've almost got this side completely done. But we need some flowers. And I want to go to the flower farm. But you know what? I'm tired of flying over there. I'm really tired of it. It's just so, I don't know, 20, whatever. It's just too far to fly. I don't feel like flying that far. What I need to do is set up a nether portal. And I'm thinking that this right here, which I was originally kind of thinking as being a fountain or something, would be a wonderful place for the build that I am considering. And that is a nether portal in the ground hidden underneath a big tree. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to build that right here on a time lapse. But I just remembered that I did not build the back of this thing yet. So I still have to build the back of this thing. Do I want to finish this before I start the other one? Oh, all right. I'll finish this before starting something else. Then I'll start a time lapse. Look at Waffle. Look at him. And who says Waffle can't build? Look at him go. Oh, I don't know what that is. What's he doing? Up, there he goes. Up, he did it again. That's funny. Look at him. He has no idea I'm recording him and spying on him. What's he doing with a diamond pickaxe? Silly Waffle. Oh, there he goes. Okay, there we go. Now I quite like that. I know there's some dirt showing there. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that just because of where it is. So, yeah, that's too bad. But I think I like this build a lot. I was a little skeptical when I had built it that tall, but even with nothing around it, it still looks pretty cool. I like it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start that time lapse. The first thing I need to do is dig a deep hole about the size of this right here. And then I'm going to fill it back in with the grass. And I'm going to put the nether portal underneath it so that basically the tree is going to have some sort of mechanism. When you drop an item into like a little knot hole, it's going to open up and you're going to be able to get into the nether portal. I think that's going to be really cool. Either that or I could make the nether portal visible on the surface, but build it into the tree. But I'm not so sure that that's what I want to do. So we'll see. I really like the whole idea of the knot hole, throwing an item in there. I think that would be a really fun idea. So I think I'm going to do that. Okay, just a break in the action here. That is admittedly the longest period of time it has ever taken anyone to build such a poorly designed piece of redstone. Look at this thing, it's a monstrosity. The idea is that this is going to be inside of the tree. You push the button, this little thing is going to pull back, which is going to be the block that is being hidden. and then you'll be able to climb down a ladder there. And then the idea is that when you click this little button down here, you'll be able to then climb up, jump out, hopefully, if the timer is long enough. I might have to extend this timer, which I think I'll have room to do. But man, it's not a pretty sight. This thing is not a pretty sight at all. It is bad. I think my redstone skills have quite... well, that's kind of what I get for designing something in... you know, in survival mode. It never works out that well. But just using some basic redstone stuff, like the little pulse extender there. So basically you press this button, and it's supposed to go into this pulse extender. Oh, I put it backwards. Jeez. Man. There we go. So this is just a comparator pulse extender. I think that'll extend the pulse longer. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And then that will power this thing here, which turns off this redstone torch, which retracts the block, and so on. So anyways, that's my derpy little system. It will work because we got plenty of room underneath there, but it's also incredibly derp. It's really bad. It just looks terrible. But we're going to cover it over with a tree, and I'm going to be using some different blocks, different types of blocks to build this tree. It's going to be interesting, I think. So on with the time lapse. Have I just built something that looks really stupid? I don't know. I'm really struggling with this tree because I think from certain angles, like for example, like if you stand right here, looks amazing. Love it. think it's perfect. If you come over here, okay, so any of these angles, most of these angles that are from the ground look great. But then if I like, you know, go into scout mode here, it just looks like a blob of glass. That's like, why did someone build a blob of glass on the server? Why did someone do that? I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it that I just don't like from this angle like this. But from this angle, it looks pretty good. Like, I like that. But from this angle over here, it's just, there's just, it's, I don't know what it is. It's just, I think maybe this, and like maybe this comes down too far. I think that's what it is. That's bugging me. I think that is coming down too far. I think that might be the problem. Let me see if I can fix it. Yeah, okay, believe it or not, that is better. I think it's because I couldn't see the trunk from that angle. It didn't look like a tree anymore. Whoa, just went through my own house. That was strange. Yeah, I think that's what I didn't like about it. Maybe I need to do just a little bit of trimming over here as well. Okay, now it kind of looks oddly symmetrical from this angle, like a space station. What on earth, man? This angle looks good. I like that. That looks like a tree to me. This looks good. This looks good. Tree, 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 tree. Looks like a tree, 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 looks like a tree. The alien monster or a space station. Why does this side look so bad? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it though, because I feel like I'm just doing more damage than good at this point over here. But over here, I'm liking this. And yeah, the colors are kind of weird because they're clashing with like the yellow and the magenta and stuff like that. I think that's what's going on with that. But I think that in the end, this is going to look really good in like the long run, not like the dimension at the end, but you know what I mean. When we're done with all the shops and everything, I think it's going to look good. Well, guys and gals, this has been Hex. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the BlockHeads. I hope you enjoy these builds, and I hope you like what we're doing here with this city and stuff. But don't forget to leave a like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And more importantly, I hope you're having an amazing, awesome, beautiful day. And God bless.